Good evening. I'm Sean Wilkinson. I'm CEO and CTO of Storj Labs, and we aim to be the largest cloud storage provider in the world without owning or operating a single data center. Now, how do we do that? We utilize a resource that you have sitting at home right now that's not being used, your extra hard drive space and bandwidth. We buy that from you, and we package that into a cloud for developers to use in their applications. Now, while this might sound a little strange at first, this model is actually a lot more efficient and solves a lot of the traditional problems that we have with cloud. So let's talk about a few of those. Who uses Yahoo, Dropbox, or LinkedIn? Just raise your hand. All of those services have been hacked. I can buy your credentials online on the dark web for $5. When you put all that data in one place, it's really great for hackers and attackers to get at it. In our model, that data is distributed on our network, and the PCs storing the data only have a small chunk. So no one except you has a map of where all that data is. Now, number two is kind of the performance. Who uses Netflix? Raise your hand. Good bit of you. Don't you hate when it's buffering and not loading and slow and you get low quality? That's because you're getting that data from a data center that's maybe in Nevada somewhere, very, very far away. Our model is much more local. We could be getting that data from a PC that's 3 blocks down from you, from someone who's renting out their hard drive space to this network. And we can support multiple simultaneous connections to make that really fast. Number three is downtime per year. You look at the more traditional cloud storage providers, they offer about 4 nines of uptime. That sounds all great and dandy until you get into that 52 minutes of downtime a year. That's not happy for us. That's not happening for the companies who are relying on this infrastructure. Our infrastructure is much more distributed and has a lot less points of failure. So if we're pulling the data from someone who's 3 blocks down and they go down, we have other providers in that area that we can get that data from. And the fourth is price. You have these traditional cloud storage providers that have to go build a $600 million data center to scale up for their customers. We're using a resource that's just sitting around, that's already bought, already paid for, and so we can offer cloud storage at a price point that's half off any traditional cloud storage provider. So let's talk a little bit about the technology. When you want to upload some data to this network, you shred it into small pieces on your computer. Then those pieces are encrypted with only keys that you know and have access to, not us, not any third-party provider. And then you spread that data amongst our distributed network redundantly. And we constantly audit that data to make sure it's available in there. So if someone turns off their computer, we can know that and detect that and recover it from one of those other pieces that we have on those other PCs. So a very secure and a very performant technology. I think this would be useful for perhaps some presidential candidates' emails and tax returns. Now, our core customers are developers. These are the people who actually make the decisions in cloud storage. When you download the next cat picture sharing app, you don't care what server it goes to. You don't care what service it goes to. You just care that it works. So the developers are the ones who actually make these decisions for us. So we're all about providing the tools and the APIs that they need to build a better, faster, cheaper, and safer cloud for us. Now, our traditional competitors are the big dogs, the Amazon S3, the Google Cloud, the Microsoft Azure. These are the platforms that store a majority of our data and the tools that developers majority of the time use for storing that application data. And so we're coming in with a platform that can provide a feature set in terms of privacy, security, speed, performance, and cost that they just can't compete on. Because again, it's the architecture. They have to go build a $600 million data center to scale up, whereas we have this capacity just sitting around us and all over the world. Now, we see this as a marketplace. We have users who are renting out their hard drive space to us. We have about 5,000 users using that, sharing about 2 petabytes of storage space, of storage capacity. That's about 2,000 terabytes. And then we have that other side, that demand where the developers are using this to store their application data. about 8,000 developers, and that growth is accelerating. And that spike you see is actually our version 4 upgrade that we launched last month that added a lot more performance and scaling fixes and features. And you can just see the transaction rates just going through the roof on our platform. Actually, as I speak now, our developers are working on our 5.0 update, which will add a lot more features and performance to the network. So we're really excited about that. We actually have something very exciting to announce today. We just signed our first enterprise customer Friday. So we're very excited about it. That's Cox Enterprises. They're going to store up to a petabyte of data in our platform. Very thankful for the local community, especially the Bridge, to help bridge that gap into enterprise and make that happen. And we're planning on doing our Series A at the beginning of next year. A little bit of our founder team. My founders, James and John, are here today. So come see us if you have any questions. And this is just a small hint of our investors that are more local. Many thanks to Tyler and Michael. Many of you may know them. They've been a great help. And thank you very much for listening. And download our software and rent out your hard drive.